Welcome to the Styled Space channel. I'm Jane, and I'm so happy you've joined me today. And in this episode, welcome to a real 28-meter square rental apartment where Parisian charm has to fit inside a tiny everyday layout. A compact entry, a narrow wall run for storage, and one main room that must do everything. Today, we'll build that classic French feeling with renter-friendly moves. Soft cream paint, warm brass, layered textiles, and furniture scaled to tight circulation. If you love calm, cinematic, small space design, like, subscribe, and stay until the end for the finishing touches that make a studio feel intentional. In a small rental, Parisian style is less about more decor and more about rhythm. Repeated tones, repeated metals, repeated lines, so the eye reads the space as composed. We'll keep the palette light, then add depth with linen, wool, and wood grain, letting texture do the work instead of clutter. And because it's a rental, every change is reversible. No demolition, no permanent built-ins, just smart layers that look custom. Parisian rooms rarely rely on loud color, they rely on nuance, so even a rental can feel expensive. Choose one creamy wall tone, one slightly deeper textile tone, and one metal finish, ideally warm brass or antique gold, then repeat them across the 28-meter square like a refrain. A frame, a lamp base, a knob, a small tray. Repetition creates cohesion, and cohesion makes a small space feel calm. A classic Paris entry is a study in symmetry. Mirror above, console below, warm sconces at the sides. In a rental, you can fake the built-in elegance with lightweight molding strips, a narrow table no deeper than 20-25 cm, and a mirror that visually doubles the tiny width. Keep the surface almost empty, one catch-all tray, one small vase, because in a small apartment, clear space is a luxury finish. Place one substantial mirror where it can see the window, often opposite or slightly angled, so daylight travels deeper into the 28-meter square footprint. Use sheer linen to diffuse harsh contrast. Parisian light is rarely clinical, it's creamy and forgiving. At night, layer a warm table lamp and a sconce-like wall light so the room glows from multiple heights, making the ceiling feel higher and the corners feel intentional. In a tiny rental, the wrong sofa can erase the room. Choose a two-seater with slim arms and visible legs so the floor line stays readable. Pair it with a round bistro table instead of a bulky coffee table. Circulation becomes easier and the curve softens the tight geometry of walls. Add one Paris cue nearby, a brass-framed mirror, a pleated shade, or a little marble surface, so the styling reads French even when the furniture is simple. Create a sleep nook with a simple upholstered headboard and two wall-mounted lights so you can free the floor from bulky nightstands. In 28 meters square, every centimeter matters, so swap a deep bedside table for a narrow shelf that holds only a book and a small dish. Finish the bed like a hotel, layered pillows, a textured throw, and one muted accent color so the studio looks styled even in daylight. Because it's a rental, you may be stuck with dated cabinet fronts or a tiny sink. So focus on what you control, organization, and surfaces. Move daily items into matching ceramic jars, add one brass rail for towels or a single utensil set, and keep the rest tucked away. The Parisian trick is restraint, one small still life on the counter, not a lineup of appliances that makes the kitchenette feel even smaller. Paris apartments often celebrate small rituals. Coffee at a petite table, a simple place setting, a quiet corner that feels considered. In 28 meter square, a foldable dining surface keeps the layout flexible, work desk by day, bistro moment by night without blocking the walkway. Add character with one cafe-style chair, a small framed print above, and a linen napkin so the tiny corner reads as intentional, not improvised. Choose one tall storage piece that looks architectural. Same tone as the wall, simple trim, and warm brass knobs so it reads like part of the apartment. In 28 meter square, the best storage is visually quiet. Use matching boxes, baskets, and a limited book palette so shelves don't turn into visual clutter. Leave a little empty space on each shelf. Negative space is what makes a tiny room feel curated, not crowded. When square meters are limited, texture replaces extra rooms as the source of richness. Let linen soften the light at the window, let wool warm the floor underfoot, and introduce cane in one piece, perhaps a chair or cabinet door so the room feels airy, not heavy. Keep every fabric within the same warm spectrum so the studio reads as one continuous, elegant composition rather than a pile of separate ideas. Even in 28 meters square, wall architecture changes everything. It makes plain drywall feel like a Paris apartment. Use lightweight, removable trim to create a few picture frame rectangles, then paint everything in one creamy tone so the relief is subtle and sophisticated. Keep the pattern simple and well-spaced. Too many small boxes can feel busy, so the tiny room gains structure without gaining clutter. Mount curtain hardware close to the ceiling, not at the top of the window, so the eye reads extra height, especially helpful in a 28-meter square studio where every illusion matters. Choose linen or linen look fabric in warm white. It filters light without turning the room gray. Add a simple brass tieback or a soft drape shape, and the window becomes a focal point that feels European and composed. Build a salon-style arrangement with a limited palette. Black line art, soft landscapes, muted sketches, nothing too loud for 28-meter square. Mix frames, but keep them related, antique gold, warm wood, thin black so the wall looks collected, not random. Anchor the cluster over one piece of furniture, a console, sofa, or desk, so the composition feels architectural and the tiny room gains a Paris apartment focal point. Brass is the shortcut to Parisian warmth, but only when it's consistent and restrained. Pick one finish, brushed brass or antique brass, and echo it across the 28-meter square. Cabinet pulls, a picture light, a mirror frame, a small tray. This repetition creates an apartment-wide signature, making even inexpensive pieces feel curated and cohesive. In 28-meter square, the most luxurious feeling is not more stuff. It's a room that returns to calm quickly. Give every category a home: baskets for textiles, one drawer for paper, one shelf for everyday items so counters stay clear. Then keep one intentional vignette, candle, flowers, a book, so the apartment feels lived in, Parisian, and composed even on ordinary days. That's how you bring Parisian charm into a real 28-meter square. Rental: a soft palette, a few architectural cues, warm brass, and textures that read luxurious without adding clutter. If you want, you can apply the same formula to any tiny apartment. Just keep repetition, restraint, and layered light as your foundation. Thanks for watching. If this helped, like the video, subscribe, and comment which zone you want to refine next: entry, living, bed, nook, or kitchenette.